Yes, people, yes, people, yes, people. Now, we're starting off with something slightly different this week. And in light of recent tragic news, me and Quaker want to talk about something very close to both of our hearts. Now, suicide needs no explanation. However, many of us don't understand how common it is and how it can affect those closest to us. In a COVID world where many lives have been flipped on their heads, official figures coincidentally show that male suicide rates are the highest they've been for 20 years. Now, the reasons behind suicide are not fully understood, but we know that one of the main risk factors of suicide is mental health, and unfortunately, those signs may not always be visible. Now, this is why me and Quaker have decided to take part in Movember, to look to try and raise money in the name of mental health.
So just following on from what Jamie just touched on, and in light of the really tragic news of Jeremy Whiston unfortunately taking his own life after being released from Man City's academy, we here at the We Talk Football podcast are using the month of November to really shine a light on mental health and football. Throughout the month, we'll be having in-depth conversations and interviews with professionals who can give us some insight into the seemingly daunting reality of life after football. As people who've had to deal with mental health issues, this is a subject that's very, very close to mine and Jamie's heart. Hence why we want to shine a spotlight on it. Like I say, look out for these episodes throughout the month of November. The link to our Movember donations will be in the description. And remember, feelings aren't facts, and it's always good to talk. With all that being said, let's get ready for episode 7 of the We Talk Football podcast.
We fucked up, guys. We messed up the visuals, so please enjoy the audio-only version of episode 7 of the We Talk Football podcast.
Right, so yes, guys, mad weekend of football, lots of talking points, and that's why we brought on one of Quaker's oldest friends, Simon, resident Tottenham fan. You can see he's straight in the conference room right now by the looks of it. Thanks for coming on, Simon.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. You are welcome, my friend. We're going to get a lot more people on more regularly, guys. So if you are interested in coming on the podcast and giving your side's opinions, then get in our DM, send us an email, send us, on any of our socials, and we'll get you involved. So yeah, starting Friday night, Aston Villa and Leeds. I actually tipped Aston Villa for a win. I remember last week they were one of the only sides in Europe that was still 100% alongside AC Milan. AC Milan drew and Aston Villa lost. Leeds, by the way, Leeds and Patrick Bamford was on smoke. Bielsa ball really coming in there. I think that hat-trick he scored, unbelievable. Did you guys get a chance to see the game?
Yeah, I saw the highlights, saw every goal, and I thought every goal was better than the last. I thought it was brilliant hat-trick. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, to be fair,
it's quite good because you saw Tyrone Mings put try and pick him up off the floor. Patrick Bamford said no. From there, he really upped his game and put the ball in the back of the net 3 times, and that's all you can ask from a striker. I think he should be in there over Tammy now in the England squad. Don't you think, Simon?
Yeah, no, I think you got to consider him. I mean, what's it?
He's doing more than Tammy Abraham.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. I wouldn't have. Don't even. Tammy Abraham, no chance. Not for me. I think. For the internationals coming up in November, got to be considered.
He has to, yeah, 100%. Alongside Antonio, I'd say, who we'll touch on in a minute. But yeah, it's fine if Tammy wants to come on the 89th minute. It's fine.
Touching on the Bamford finishes, obviously he's an ex-Chelsea boy, so I can take some credit for that as well. But even the first finish, like the rebound, the way he slotted it away, weren't an easy finish. And obviously the second and the third were just incredible. Like, he's got a wonder of a left foot. I'm still not fully convinced, to be fair. I don't know if he's the real deal. Same as Calvert-Lewin. We didn't see Calvert-Lewin do much against Southampton. I know we're going to come on to that. But these players that everybody gets really gassed about, pick it for England. We'll see in a couple of weeks if Bamford's still scoring goals. So, good hat-trick from Patrick Bamford. I'm not going to take any credit away from him. Aston Villa just... they were in the game, and Grealish had a couple of chances, but Leeds, like you say, Bielsa ball, that high press, and I feel like a lot of sides when they come up against Leeds for the first time, are going to find it difficult. It's going to be a shock to the system. So, yeah, congratulations to Leeds, and I think Villa will bounce back from this result. It wasn't like although it was a 3-0, it wasn't like it was a smashing, was it?
No, Leeds just turned it on in the second half, and you did bring up a few good points there. Bamford did actually miss a load of chances in the first half. Leeds could have scored in the first half, but obviously didn't. He wasted a couple of chances, but it's good to see a young English striker finally getting his chance in the Premier League. He's had a few chances in the past with people like Palace, and obviously no one gets a chance at Chelsea anyway, so it's good to see him doing well. But yeah, the next game, the early kickoff of the day, Saturday the 24th of October, we saw West Ham. West Ham, people. Now, eagle-eyed viewers will see that my beard's getting quite long. I've had a bit of an agreement with Kwaku. I said I'm not shaving this until West Ham lose, and I think the way we're playing, Boss City off the park for 45 minutes. Second half, Foden came on, made a change.
Jay, I'm gonna stop you there. Like you can get as gassed as you want about West Ham getting these results, but did you not pick them to go down at the beginning of the season? So like everything that you're saying right now to me isn't valid. You picked your own team to get relegated at the beginning of the season, so getting gassed over results over Spurs and over City, yeah, fair enough, fair play to West Ham, but you did pick them to go down. So I ain't really having it from you.
Quaker, you're breaking up, mate. I can't hear you that well.
Yeah, I don't think I heard that either.
To be fair, at the start of the season, there were a lot of alarm bells going on around the club, and there still are, to be honest. Even the way we performed in the transfer market and things like that, the way the owners have been acting, everything that I said at the start of the season is validated, other than the fact that David Moyes is overperforming with what he's got. David Moyes getting COVID was a blessing. I don't know who was on the I say that sounds quite bad actually. But when he got COVID, ever since then we've been absolutely electric, and we've looked good all season. Yeah. By the way, and the first 45 minutes of that game, you were saying it. Declan Rice, the best player on the pitch.
Yeah.
Souček next to him. He's like we've uncovered a diamond from Sparta Prague in Czech Republic. We're looking very, very, very solid. That new three at the back formation. Oh, unbelievable. The only thing I'd say is Jared Bowen looks really good. I just wish that he had a little bit more pace, because there was a few instances where he was getting getting behind the back line. But obviously when you're Kyle Walker can catch people easily. Who's the other guy on the other side? Was it Diaz? I can't think of his name. The young Spanish one. But he was catching Bowen quite relatively easy, and that's... Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Well, he's rapid as well. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what West Ham look like as a dynamic when we somewhat interchange Fornals and Ben Rama on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Obviously Ben Rama, our new signing, was a little bit too soon for getting him involved. But yeah, solid result for us. We've got Liverpool next. So yeah, tough results. But
that bit's coming off next week. Then for Liverpool, that bit's coming off sharpish, mate. Like you're not getting a result against Liverpool. Don't be deluded. Okay. That's a raw form of delusion if you think you're going to beat Liverpool.
That's a rough set of fixtures for West Ham. Mate, really honestly. Bad. But you've done well.
We've done really well. Yeah, we done really well against Tottenham.
Oh, don't.
That week.
What happened there? I forgot, mate. I think I must have been on holiday or something. Don't.
What did you think of that Spurs game? That Spurs West Ham game, sorry.
I mean, it's never acceptable. 8 minutes left, be 3-0 up, and then not to win the game. And it's even more of a bitter pill to swallow because it's against that lot.
Yeah.
It was actually, I was sitting there with my dad watching it, and like, as soon as the ball comes out to the edge of the box, you just thought, oh no, don't. And it went in. I just started laughing. I just literally started laughing. It's just typical. But yeah, I mean, it's just football at the end of the day. It can happen, and it happens to us every now and then.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those results, isn't it? Like the Premier League this year has been absolutely mental. It throws up crazy results, and that's for a neutral, unbelievable. For a West Ham, I mean, there was definite things in that game that we could improve. We were abysmal for 80 odd minutes of the game. You guys were electric, and then whatever happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you sometimes you can't excuse those things in football, but.
Would you say that was game?
That's why we love it. That's why we love it, and that's why we hate it at the same time. It's just part of it, I suppose.
Well, me and Quaker have been saying, like we were actually saying in the group chat with each other, like like Spurs look like a real title challenger, and it Spurs did what Spurs do. Spurs did what Spurs do at the end of the day, and they clickbaited at the end. But then Is Jose Mourinho going to bring that winning mentality? Who knows? He can only do what he's got with the players on the pitch. And
Jay, you're exposing me right now because obviously you've got a couple of group chats. So I've got a group chat like with Simon and my boys that I went to school with, and in that group chat, I'm chatting very, very differently. They're talking about Spurs title challenge. I'm poo-pooing it. I'm shutting it down.
Vicious.
It was getting quite
very, very vicious.
With the voice notes and whatnot. But yeah, with Spurs, don't get me wrong. Obviously, we'll come on to them against Burnley, but yeah, they're a decent enough side. We'll see if they can push for a title challenge this season. I'm not too sure about it, but we'll see.
So the next game we had was Palace and Fulham. Palace putting up another win, obviously against the Fulham side that looked good. They fielded a very, very young side. I can see Fulham are starting to get gradually better. Are they going to get better too late? Who knows? But obviously they brought in a lot of young players. Have had Ademola Lookman look quite solid. Loftus-Cheek actually looked quite good for them in the middle of the park. But again, Palace had too much. Fulham got a silly sending off. Not much to say about that fixture though. Then going on to the big one of the day, that was actually underwhelming. Man United and Chelsea. I'll let you take the lead on this one, Quakes.
Yeah, so obviously that was getting the Sky Sports treatment. Why are you putting that face on it?
It's horrible. One of the worst games in Premier League history, in my opinion. Really was.
I don't think your game against Burnley was much better, but like it got the treatment, it got the whole kind of fanfare and build up. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit here and say it was the most exciting game in the world, but going to Old Trafford and getting a point after people previously lamented your defence, like Thiago Silva looked solid, and I don't know, with Thiago Silva and Mendy starting, we haven't conceded the goal. So there's all that chat about Chelsea's defensive issues. I don't think. Go on, Jay. What are you pulling the face?
But what did you say with Thiago Silva and Mendy starting? You haven't conceded a goal.
With Thiago Silva and Mendy starting together, we haven't conceded the goal. No, you can go reject that if you want.
That's fine, but I mean, Thiago Silva started against West Brom, fucked up, and you lost. You conceded 3 goals.
But Mendy weren't playing that game. That game. I let you go with West Ham. Let me finish. So obviously defensively we looked solid. Going forward, there's something missing, obviously, but with those that attacking personnel, I don't think it's going to be an issue scoring goals. I think that Lampard the last couple of weeks was focused on making sure we're solid at the back, and give it a couple of weeks and we'll be flying in terms of going forward. I know Simon's not convinced. Well, what's your thoughts on it, Si?
No, so I think you're way off. I don't know. With Chelsea, I just think I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can. I don't think this year. I think all them new signings might embed better for next season, but because you've not signed bad players, let's be honest. I'll admit that, but I don't know. I'm not even convinced Lampard will last the season.
Really?
Not convinced. Yeah. No, not 100%.
Well, it's like what I said last week. My question to Chelsea fans was, how long can Frank Lampard put out results that are somewhat questionable?
Yeah.
And again, I totally agree. From an unbiased perspective, Chelsea have brought in amazing players. But even so, looking at Chelsea as a side, they look massively disjointed. I think their midfield is a problem. I think, when I watch Chelsea, it's clear to me that, Jorginho and Kante don't work together. And I think Frank Lampard goes with that persistently. And I don't think that's a starting side in the Premier League. And I think they just look like a massively disjointed side. I can see them doing better next season.
Yeah.
And again, I'd like to see Frank Lampard do well, but again, if he wasn't Frank Lampard right now, let's put it this way, right? Yeah. Look at the treatment Ollie's getting at Man United, right? And compare that or juxtapose that with Frank Lampard at Chelsea. It's completely different, and the results aren't too dissimilar, if I'm honest. No. That's not fair. That's not fair. But you get my point, though. You get my point. The patience seems to be very thin with Ollie, but with Lampard, he seems to get away with murder.
100%.
I get the drift. I get your drift in terms of Lampard's given a bit more leeway because he is a Chelsea legend. But in terms of exceeding expectations, I don't think any of you two can sit here seriously. I know I'm talking about last season. At the beginning of last season, nobody had Chelsea in their top 4. Nobody did. So he overachieved. So he's bought himself more time. But
how long can you dine off that? Quake?
Well,
football doesn't really live on. All right, okay. That's been upgraded. Yeah, football doesn't really.
Just for people listening, it come up on Zoom. We've upgraded the 40-minute thing. We thought we were going to be cut off now, but luckily we could keep on going.
But yeah, you can't live in the past in football. Frank Lampard can't afford to dine off last season. I mean, he did well, but let's also look at the observable facts.
Yeah.
He spent hundreds of millions of pounds, and the results he's putting out on the pitch aren't very good. They're not very good. Like, a 0-0 draw away at United, that's not the worst result in the world. Yeah. But United are there for the taking. United are there for the taking. They're not a solid side themselves. You know, they've had a good result against PSG.
Yeah.
But, you know, United are there for the taking. You can't dine off, we finished top 4 last season. No one was expecting that. Because at the end of the day, if you don't finish top 4 this season, you know, you've regressed. How long can Frank Lampard get away with that? That's my point.
Yeah, I get your point, and obviously, so I'd like to hear your thoughts on what I'm about to say. But in terms of this season, if we look at everybody else in the league, are we questioning Pep's job? We should be questioning everybody's job because everybody's underachieving in terms of where they are. I know Spurs got the result last night, but what? 10, 15 minutes away from dropping points away at Burnley. Like, the league is not normal at the moment. And I feel like in terms of calling for managers' jobs or questioning managers, when we're this early in the season and every single team in the league has lost a game, like the earliest that's happened in 40 years. I just think that it's too early. I feel like judge it in 2, 3, 4 months. But to say that Lampard's got questions to answer right now, that means you're asking questions about Pep Guardiola because Man City are below Chelsea in the league right now.
I mean, I'm not entirely sure it does. Just from my point of view, I think the main point here is the investment Chelsea have been hundreds of millions, you know, and sought after players in Europe that, you know, you've signed, and I think there's an expectation that they've got to kind of just hit the ground running. The amount of money, when you spend 80 million on someone or whatever Kai Havertz was, you expect them to, from day one, to make an impact. They're not the kind of players, I'll wait till next season. I think that's what the argument is with Chelsea, because of the investment that you've made. You know, there's that kind of more pressure.
Yeah,
to succeed.
I do take the point, and I do. If we were cut adrift from the top of the league and we were 7, 8, 9 points off the top of the league, then I take the point. But right now, we're like 4 points, 5 points off the top of the league. Like, that's a game. That's a couple of games. I can't accept the Lampard out chance just yet. But I do take your point.
I'm not saying Lampard out. Yeah. I'm not saying Lampard out. But again, jumping on what Simon said, like there is a degree of the signings are being expected to hit the ground running. But when you look at Kai Havertz, so you look at the fee he came for, you look at the fee that Werner came for. What have they done in a Chelsea shirt? Realistically, you've seen Kai Havertz, he scored a hat-trick against Barnsley in the cup, but other than that, what has he actually done? This is an £80 million player that's, you know, he's young, but you're expecting him to come into the Premier League and light it up, you know, but he's not. Neither's Werner. You know, Thiago, like, the most positive that you've had from a signing this season is Mendy getting a man and a match against Man United.
So I don't know if you saw the Southampton game, but Werner's goals were pretty decent in that game. I don't know if you saw the Spurs game in the cup.
That's one game.
I don't know the Spurs game in the cup as well. Werner scored a goal as well. It weren't too bad in there. Like, I don't think these signings. Also, tell me the last like big money signing that's come to the Premier League and has hit the ground running. Pepe? No. Kepa? No. Like, these big money signings do take a little bit of time to assimilate. And what? He's 21 years old? Like, come on, mate. Like, if we're going to start questioning players after 6 games, then like we're living in the dream world, living in cuckoo land.
I will give you that, but at the same time, you've got to offer something. Yeah. Werner's been anonymous in 90% of the games he's played. Yeah. We watched the West Brom game together. Like, when he's played on the left-hand side, he was anonymous the entire game.
The thing is, anonymous but got an assist in that game. Do you know what I mean? If that's him playing badly, then I'd love to see him playing well.
You were 3-0 down as well, Craig. It's like you're looking at this with rose-tinted glasses, mate. That your signings that you're bringing in, right? No one's expecting them to come in and get a hat-trick every game.
Yeah.
But they need to be doing more, you know? Yeah. You see Mendy come in, put in a solid performance against United. That's fine.
Yeah.
But, like, other than that, largely...
Thiago Silva's not looked decent? No? Ben Chilwell's not looked decent. No, Ben Chilwell.
All right, I tell you what, Chilwell.
So
Chilwell looks like
we're naming half the signings that we brought in that looked decent, and the ones going forwards, he actually barely played. And Werner scored 3 goals already this season, and Havertz has registered goals and assists as well this season. So if this is them playing badly, and this is Chelsea playing really badly, and Chelsea ask questions, I'd love to see when we get a little bit of form where we're going to be.
Yeah, well, again, it's exciting to see all the signings coming in for Chelsea, but as I said, I just think they could do more. And going back to the Frank Lampard thing, how long can they put results out there? Maybe we'll leave this down to the viewers. Maybe if you're watching the podcast or you're listening on whatever, Spotify or Apple Music, leave a comment for us somewhere and say, do you agree with me and Simon that Chelsea aren't doing that great? Or do you agree with Quaker and, Chelsea's shit shines, basically, whenever they do average? Just let us know. But moving on anyway, otherwise we'll talk about Chelsea all day.
We could do that all day. We could do it all day. Let's talk about Chelsea all day. No, go on, Liverpool.
I'd rather not, mate. But yeah, Liverpool pulling out a 2-1 win against Sheffield. I think it's an important result for Liverpool because obviously they've had an absolute tirade of abuse and support for VVD. May he rest in peace, by the way. 2-1 against Sheffield United. It's a solid result. Alisson coming back for them. So yeah, again, it's just Liverpool ticking along as Liverpool do.
Yeah.
Any input from you guys on that one?
It was just interesting. The penalty for Sheffield United, very controversial. But apparently, I read that if it's actually on the line, technically that is a penalty. I swear one of the commentators mentioned that.
Well, the thing is, seeing it in real time, seeing on replay, I feel like with football right now, nobody knows the rules. It's like, oh no, this is it. Oh no, that's it. Like that. When I looked at that, I was like, that's outside the area. Like, that didn't look like a penalty. It did not look like a penalty. It was a weird decision. Obviously, always gutting to see Liverpool pick up a result, but like you said, Jay, is an important result from Jota with the winner. And Firmino also getting on the score sheet, which has been important. They played them in number 10, which would be interesting to see going forward. Switch up to a 4-2-3-1. So we'll see if that change of formation brings out different fortunes for Liverpool this season. Because, like you say, they've been a bit shaky, but a solid win against a good team. And there's not much more to say about that game.
Yeah. So moving on to Southampton. I would say one of the shock results of the weekend. Obviously, Southampton have been ticking along. They've put out a few good results this season, but yeah, they absolutely bossed Everton off the park. James Ward-Prowse scored a great goal. Che Adams as well, popping up with another goal. Everton looked largely anonymous. We got attacked on our Instagram by Oscar Kwaku, saying that we only talk about Southampton briefly and largely praise the other team, or say the other team played shit whenever they do well.
Yeah. So
I think we should talk a little bit about Southampton this weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, solid result. Did you guys get a chance to catch that one at all?
Yeah. So did Che Adams, that like you touched on, I know all the spotlights on Danny Ings because he is the guy getting the majority of their goals, but Che Adams scored 6 and 12 for them, so he is somebody who's popping up with goals. Like I said, the Ward-Prowse goals was a great goal, assisted from Danny Ings. So yeah, Southampton look decent. They look decent against Chelsea, not so much against Spurs. I know Simon revelled in that result. The Harry Kane, the song clinic. But yeah, Southampton look decent. And like I say, touching on what Oscar touched on, we maybe didn't give Southampton enough credit for getting the result against Chelsea. So this is your validation, Oscar. Well done, Southampton. You got a result against Everton.
And just to touch on it as well, I actually really like Ralph Hasenhüttl. I can see Hasenhüttl as being one of those managers that you can see pushing on in the future, whether it's the Klopp effect, because he's that vibrant, from that part of the world. Yeah. But I think Hasenhüttl, you can see him doing quite well. Managers at Southampton tend to then go to other clubs and tend to succeed as well.
Yeah.
And really, since he's been at Southampton, the only real question mark I put on him is the result they had against Leicester. What was it, the 8-1 or the 9-1 last season?
9-0, wasn't it?
Yeah, 9-0.
Was it 9-0? Oh, yeah. The ridiculous, where Vardy and Perez both got a hat-trick that game. But other than that, I think he's been really solid for them. So, yeah. Hats off to Southampton. Great weekend for them.
Yeah.
Not so good weekend for Everton. But moving on to the next fixture. Largely boring one. Sorry, Wolves and Newcastle fans. Not much to say about this game. 1-1 game. It's a good point away from home for Steve Bruce. But there's not much to say about that one, really, is there?
No, other than Raul Patricio's got to do better than that. I think the free kick, Murphy's free kick, he's got to do better than that.
Yeah, he's got.
Really
he's got to be saving it. To be fair, like fair play to Murphy. Like getting like last. you can't really discredit someone from scoring a last minute equaliser. But yeah, Patricio's got to be saving that. Really, he's better than that.
Definitely
he's better than that.
2 points dropped there. Definitely 2 points dropped.
Yeah. If you're Wolves and like, especially where it's hotting up at the top of the Premier League, where there's like 8, 9, 10 teams challenging for European places, like as a Wolves fan, you'd be absolutely gutted that you've dropped points there. Should be winning that game.
So then the next big game of the day, Leicester and Arsenal. Obviously, Jamie Vardy doing what Jamie Vardy does, catching Arsenal on the break.
Jay, look,
we're all going to revel in that one. Really
look at the smile on Simon's face. He's absolutely giddy.
Loving it.
What did you think about it, sorry?
Yeah, no, I just think it's just Leicester, similar to the City game, really, where Leicester, they weren't like brilliant, but they just, obviously, they've done better in the City game, scoring 5 goals. They've just done a job. I think Unai Arteta got out-tacticked by Brendan Rodgers, really.
That's the thing.
What do you think about that one, Arsenal fans?
Unai Arteta, but it's not too dissimilar. Obviously, Arsenal fans giving it the big one, and to be fair, I bought into it a little bit. I was like, yeah, they've addressed their issues, but that was same old Arsenal. Like David Luiz went off. The fact that they're relying on David Luiz to be a leader in their dressing room kind of says a lot about them. He goes off, Mustafi comes on. Obviously, he like loses his man. They like Leicester bring Vardy on, and he always scores against Arsenal. It's just like same old Arsenal. Arsenal.
No, never changes.
One thing I would say though is with Leicester, they looked dangerous all game, but it was evident how important Jamie Vardy is to them when he came on. He completely changed their side. And yeah, I think without Jamie Vardy in that side, Leicester are going to get found out. So let's just hope he can carry on like this. And really, if you're Gareth Southgate, you're going to be on the phone to Vardy, aren't you? Surely.
Yeah. It's gutting that he's retired, isn't it? From international football, screaming at someone like him.
Yeah,
he's never really had a chance for England. Not much either. He's never really utilised. He's always been used as that player that comes in the 70th minute, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I don't think he's really been utilised that well for England. So that's a shame.
I think with Jamie Vardy, it's like maybe it's just myself, but it's always the case of like, when's this going to come to an end? Because obviously he burst onto the scene, and I feel like with that, he doesn't really get the credit. Like Harriet, our editor, she's had Jamie Vardy in her team since the beginning of the season, and she's just like, because she's been getting into football since 2016, 2017. She's like, why don't people pick Jamie Vardy? And I think there's a sense within football fans that he's not the real deal, even though he performs every single season. He's such an important player for Leicester, and one of the best players in the Premier League, really, and has been for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Well, I think that was his 108th goal or something like that. I know he matched Peter Crouch.
Yeah.
Peter Crouch was in the Premier League for how long?
Yeah.
So Vardy's doing really well. He doesn't really look like he's showing any signs of slowing down as well. So more life to him. I hope he keeps cracking. I like Leicester. I think a few years ago Leicester was everyone's second team. So it's still good to see them doing really well, and they've really pushed on.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on to the next game. I don't care about this game, guys. I'll be completely honest with you. Any game with West Brom in it this season is just boring.
Borefest, isn't it?
Just boring to me.
It even sounds boring. West Brom. Just
West Brom.
It's like going to send me to sleep.
Yeah, so Brighton, West Brom, 1-1.
Yeah.
Let's just move on, right? Burnley, Tottenham. This is the one we want to talk about. Burnley, Tottenham. Last night, the Monday night kickoff. Tottenham coming away with a 1-0 win. Son Heung-min doing what he does, scoring goals. I'll let you lead the line on this one there, Simon.
Yeah, I think obviously ugly. It was an ugly win. Not a great performance. But what that showed me, I mean, in that game yesterday, we had 62% possession of the ball, which against Southampton, another away game, when we had 47% of the ball. That shows me that we can adapt to, because obviously not all teams are going to come and press you high and try and get about you and everything like that. Obviously Burnley, hard to break down. We just had the ball just trying to break them down. We won ugly. Against Southampton, it was more of a counter-attacking approach. I think them 2 wins for showing me, okay, we can, because that was one of the criticisms under Pochettino. Oh, he's only got one style of play. Oh, he's only one-dimensional. We can't really mix it up. But I think now, I don't know, I think we're starting, I can see. Yeah, but no, I mean, in all honesty, last night, ugly performance, but got the win. And what do they say? Hallmark of champions, is it? Grinding out results. So.
Well, yeah, to jump onto it, I mean, other than obviously the West Ham result, I think that's the real clanger you've had this season. We've already spoke about that, but I think you were really unlucky against Newcastle.
Yeah.
With the handball. Quakey, you can shake your head, mate, but you know, there's literally video evidence.
Get out of his arse, mate. Unlucky against Newcastle. What about Everton in the first game of the season when he got absolutely trounced?
Other than that, they've been
1-0, absolutely dragged. Not sure. Not sure. I mean, fair play.
But yeah, Spurs do look good, and it's clear to see that Jose Mourinho is going in the right direction. And I think whether you like to admit it or not, I think the Amazon documentary has kind of endeared a lot of people towards Tottenham.
That's a lot.
Not myself, I fucking hate him.
That's a lot of the feedback I've heard people have said about that from rival clubs. They've warmed to Mourinho. That's been like the common feedback I've heard. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. About
great result.
Mourinho can get fans under his spell. So when he first comes into a club, apart from Chelsea, so when he first came to United or when he first comes to Spurs, it's always that kind of you want to kind of hold him away from arm's length, but then he kind of wins you round with his charm and the way he does it. He kind of ropes you in until he gets into his third season, and he gets the sack. So obviously Mourinho's doing a good job at Spurs right now, and Spurs are flying high, whatever that means. But we'll see.
100% away record at the moment. 3 wins, 3 games, 3 wins.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
But we haven't won at home yet. In the league, we haven't won at home yet. We need to change that. And we will on the weekend.
Right.
We'll come on to that.
Yeah, to be fair, that's probably quite a good transition to go into this weekend's fixtures. So let's try and run through these quite quick fire. I'll read out the fixtures and then you guys tell me what you think. So a Friday night kickoff. We've got 8:00. Wolves at home against Palace. What do you think about that one, Simon?
I'm going to go for a Wolves win. I think they will bounce back after the Newcastle draw. I know Palace got a good result away at Fulham, but I think a lot of teams will be beating Fulham away. Palace have been good all season, really consistently, but I think a 2-0 home win for Wolves. Jimenez double. Okay.
How about yourself? 2-0. All right. He's called it. How about yourself, Quakes?
I'm going 1-1 that game. I think Palace look decent. They've got attacking threats. I think Roy Hodgson's obviously he knows how to drill a team. Wolves, I'm not too sure about Wolves this season. Been relatively inconsistent. I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna back Palace in this one actually. I think. They were playing Fulham. Obviously, they didn't look great, but Will Zaha looks like he's on something different this season. Hopefully, he'll get his move. I reckon that's what he's playing for. But obviously, I don't know if you guys saw it. He had that goal in the Fulham game, overcommitted, slammed into the post, didn't he? So hopefully he's not injured or anything. Yeah, so you can tell he's hungry this season, which is great to see. I'm going to back Palace I'm going to go with a 1-0 win away. But next game we've got Sheffield United City. It's the early kickoff of the day at 12:30. Sheffield at home. Against City. We'll start with you, Kwaku, this time. What do you think on that one?
It's a tough one with City this season. They've looked very, very inconsistent against West Ham, like you touched on before. The first half, West Ham absolutely bossed it. But I don't think you can look past them. You expect them to bounce back. Sheffield United have struggled this season as well. They put on a good showing against Liverpool. But I'm backing City in this one. I think 3-1 City.
3-1 City. How about yourself, Sam?
Yeah, I've actually gone 4-1 City. Similar kind of reasons. I just think Sheffield United will come at them because they need the points themselves. I think holes will appear and I think City will pick them apart.
Yeah, they're the team to do that. Again, I can't see anything but a City win. It'd be good to see Rhian Brewster do well, get a goal or so. But I think, for me, I can't see anything but a City win. I'm going to go 3-0 City. Again, next game, 3:00 kickoff. Might as well start with you and this one, Kwaku. So Burnley at home against Chelsea. What do you think is going to happen in that game?
Well, this is one of the Sky Sports box office ones, isn't it? Fucking hell. I am going for a 2-0 Chelsea win. Like I say, we haven't conceded the goal when Mendy and Silva have started. Burnley have struggled this season. They put on a good showing against Spurs, but I'm going 2-0 Chelsea win. I think Kai Havertz is going to get a score sheet, and I think you might see a Hakim Ziyech goal as well. So 2-0 Chelsea.
Okay. How about yourself, Sam?
Yeah, I'm actually going to mimic the result from last night. I'm going to go 1-0 Chelsea. I think it'll be a similar game hard to break them down. I think you'll get the breakthrough. Again, might even be from a set play, might be a corner, free kick coming in. But yeah, I'll give Chelsea a 1-0 win there.
Okay, I'm going to go with a 2-1 Burnley win in that one.
I hope so.
Wait. What do we go for a 2-1 Burnley win?
Yeah, mate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That'd be brilliant.
All right,
what a treat that would be.
Yeah, 2-1.
Yeah.
Nothing needs to be said on that. I can just see Burnley, shutting up shop and doing what Burnley do.
Right.
Chris Wood's going to bully your centre back, and I think that's all that needs to be said. And then the late kick off of the day: Liverpool, West Ham. Liverpool at home. Liverpool a tough side. Liverpool are the champions of England for a reason. Again, they always grind out results even when they're not playing that well. Expecting West Ham to get a result out of this one is tough, but again, West Ham aren't playing badly. I just think there might be a little bit too much for us on the day. I'm actually going to tip us to lose this one. I'm going to go with 2-1 Liverpool.
All right.
How about yourself, Quakes?
All right, good. I thought you were going to do the unthinkable and pick West Ham against Liverpool. That beard is coming off this weekend. I'm going, well, after that Burnley pick you did, I'm going 4-0 Liverpool.
Bitter. How do them lemons taste?
How about yourself, Simon? What do you think?
Yeah, do you know what? I kind of agree with what you said about that. That's why I've gone for a Liverpool 1-0. I think they'll win, but it'll be tough because West Ham aren't, they're not a pushover this season.
Okay, yeah, I respect your opinion. There, mate. It's good to have someone with some good football insight on the podcast for once. Right, so first game on Sunday: Aston Villa and Southampton. Aston Villa at home against Southampton again. Two sides that have looked solid all season. Aston Villa obviously let themselves down against Leeds, so they'll be looking to bounce back. I'll go first in this one. I can actually see Villa win for this one. I reckon 2-1. Sorry, Oscar, on Instagram, mate. I'm sure you're at a swim if I'm wrong. But Aston Villa win for me. How about yourself, Simon?
Yeah, I've actually gone for a 2-2 draw in this one. I think Villa will be a bit downtrodden after losing 3-0 at home to Leeds. Southampton, we buoyed against their win against Everton. Yeah, I'm going to go honours even, 2-2.
Nice. How about yourself, Quakes?
I'm going to go 2-1 Southampton. I think Southampton are decent this season. And like you say, so I like Villa, there's going to be a bit of a come down after the trouncing against Leeds. So yeah, 2-1 Southampton.
Okay. Yeah. Next game, 2:00 kickoff, Newcastle at home against Everton. I actually think this is going to be a score draw. I can see a 1-1 draw in this one. I think Newcastle are quietly going about their business this season. They've had a few good results, few shocking results, but Steve Bruce and Newcastle are ticking along up there, and I think Everton will be, like you say, a little bit downtrodden after losing their goal. Sorry, losing it against Southampton. So yeah, 1-1 draw for me. How about yourself, Simon?
Yeah, do you know what? I think this might be the start of Everton starting to unravel slightly. Not for the whole season, but I think they're going to maybe go for a little bad patch. So I've actually gone for a 3-1 Newcastle win here. I don't think they'll win this one, Everton.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. How about yourself, Quakes? I'm
going 0-0.
Wow.
0-0, or draw.
He likes them, didn't you?
He does, yeah. Let's see if you give them praise next week, mate, when they put out a 4 draw. But yeah, all right. Next game, Man United Arsenal. Big game for Man United at home again against Arsenal. Who's coming out on top of that one, Quakes?
Well, Arsenal have got an atrocious record at Old Trafford, and you see it on the Arsenal fan channels. Like, you just see the wheels starting to come off. Like, fans not necessarily saying Arteta out, but trying to throwing in these little things. So I think United are going to get a result in that game. I think it's going to be 3-1 United. It's going to be pretty comfortable as well.
3-1 United. Okay. How about yourself, sir?
Yeah, I think Arsenal, not just against United. I think they haven't won away at one of the big 6 since 2015. They've got a woeful away record, I think. But even though I say that, I've gone for 1-1 here. Yeah, gone 1-1.
Okay. I'm actually going to back Man United in this one. I can see a 2-1 win. I don't think Arsenal are as good as what people are saying. You look at is Aubameyang doing that well this season? Not really. I think if he's not performing, are Arsenal even are they a top side? No, not in my opinion. So I'm going to go Man United 2-0. No. Then Sunday evening, Tottenham at home against Brighton. I think it would be rude for me to talk anymore. I'm going to let you go on with this one, Simon. What do you think?
I think we're finally going to get our first home win of the season in the Prem, and I think we're going to do it handsomely. I'm going to go for a 3-0 victory. The Kane and Son combination is going to be doing it again. I think. Do you know what? I think Bale, Son, Kane, 3-0.
3-0. Okay. Pretty confident there, mate. How about yourself, folks?
I'd love to pick Brighton in this game, but I just can't. You know what? No, I'm going 1-0. I'm going 1-0.
Oh,
1-0. Going 1-0, yeah. No, I'm not. Because I want to be right. I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs. Spurs are going to win against Brighton. They're going to beat them.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go Tottenham as well. I can't see past Tottenham there. I can see 2-0. I think Brighton have looked good this season, but I think Tottenham have looked a lot better. Son and Kane at the moment look, as much as I hate to admit it, they look unreal, don't they? So 2-0 for me. If Bale can come in there and start adding something towards it. Yeah, 2-0. Then we've got the Monday kick-off. I think this is probably the fixture we've been waiting for all season, guys. It's Fulham at home to West Brom.
Oh, absolute giant fixture, that one.
This is a game I want to pay £15 for.
Yeah,
guys. That's what I'm
saying. Is this pay-per-view as well?
Yeah.
No idea, but I'll be paying.
Yeah,
I'll be paying.
Yeah, it's pay-per-view. It's pay-per-view.
That is an insult, isn't it? You know what I mean?
15 quid. I'd love them to release the pay-per-view figures in terms of who's actually paying for this. That's absolute joke. Absolute joke.
Yeah. I'm going to go on this one. I'm going to go 1-0 to Fulham. I'm expecting to pick up their first win of the season. They looked good at the weekend against Palace. But Wolf Zaha, he did well and took the game away from him. But yeah, I think Ademola Lookman was unlucky on the weekend. I can see them doing well, and a 1-0 win doesn't look out of the realms of possibility against the West Brom side that just look average. How about yourself, Quakes?
Mate, it's literally just I could pick any score for this fixture. These are two teams that are gonna go down. I think they'll get cut adrift pretty quickly. So I'll be going for a 1-1 draw in this game.
Okay. How about yourself, Si?
Yeah, I've gone for a 2-1 Fulham win. I think first win of the season for Scotty Parker and the Fulham boys.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And then Monday night, big game. Leeds at home against Leicester. What do we think on that one, boys? Simon, do you want to take the lead?
I think potential to be the game of the weekend. I mean, that's just got exciting written all over it. I'm going to go for a 4-3 Leeds win. I think it's got goals written all over it, that.
Yeah. Big result.
Yeah.
Big result.
He's big.
I respect that. How about yourself, Quakes?
I like the 4-3. Got shades of like those Liverpool-Newcastle games in the 90s, those Premier League years kind of games. I like that one. I don't know. I'm going for a score draw. I'm going 2-2 Leeds and Leicester.
Again, I like Leicester. I think Brendan Rodgers is, again, another manager just quietly going about his business. Bielsa looks good, but there has been a couple of games where Leeds haven't looked amazing. I think Leicester are going to go there and test them. I can actually see a 2-1 away win for Leicester. That might be a bit bold because Leeds have looked good, but yeah, 2-1. But that's all the fixtures.
Decent.
And let's see how we get on over the weekend, boys. Should we talk a little bit about fantasy?
Do we have to?
Let's do it. I don't mind talking about a bit of fantasy.
Alright, so I enter Harry is still killing it at the top of the league with 408 points, got 49 points this week. Let's have a look. West side, Zimberto Carlos, decent week, 59 points this week.
Not bad.
He's joint fifth.
That's not bad at all. Obviously, Ward Prowse in the team of the week, decent. Kane. The thing is, if you ain't got Kane or Son in your team now, it's just like, what? Like, you have to, how they're performing.
That's it, you've got to put allegiances aside, really. If you want the points, it's just a no-brainer, isn't it, really?
Yeah, you have. Well, that's one thing that we didn't touch on, the Kane and Son partnership. They just look absolutely unreal. People talk about York and Cole, but like, Son and Kane just look absolutely ridiculous this season.
Yeah, scroll down there, Quakes. Let's see how we're doing.
The thing is, I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling quite. Oh, there I am, 24th. Oh my god! Let's look at Jamie first of all. Jamie got 43 points this week. Not too bad. Let's have a look at his team.
Do you know what? I'm disappointed because I took my free hit last week. I made quite a few subs. Brought in Kane. Kane obviously did well, but I put in Cresswell. He did all right, but then obviously Digne got sent off for me.
Yeah.
Grealish I brought in Martinez and Grealish from Aston Villa, and then they went and lost 3-0. So yeah, one of those weekends where didn't do too great, but I didn't do too bad. You look at like the average points, I pulled out 43, so
not bad.
They say pretty decent to be fair.
It's okay, yeah. How'd you do, Quakes?
Let's have a look at me. So, just on a side note, Harry Duna, I know he says he's bottom right now, but he did join a week later. So, I think I am technically like rock bottom. And if we have a look at my team, no heavy hitters in there. No heavy hitters at all. Kane got me my
Burnley, your captain as well.
Yeah.
Performing for you.
Yeah.
Nice massive 4 points for the captain.
I think I'll stop sharing my screen now. To be fair, but yeah, another successful week of fantasy football. Like me and Jamie touched on previously, we've got to come up with a forfeit of some sort to punish the loser, but we haven't really thought of it yet. But yeah, I think that's everything. Obviously, it's the first time Simon's joined us. I think you're going to be a regular guest on the We Talk Football podcast. It's obviously been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
You guys know where to follow us on Twitter. It's We Talk Football, WTF Podcast 90. On Instagram, it's We Talk Football Podcast. We're on Apple Music. We're on Spotify. So yeah, make sure you like and subscribe, share, and we'll talk to you soon. Cheers, guys.